You may have checked it out already, but ArtPrize is well underway across the city of Grand Rapids and continues into this weekend if you haven't checked it out. If you have been already, though, you may have noticed some flyers and informational tips at different venues that look to help people spot signs of human trafficking and also offer advice if someone may be in a potentially vulnerable situation. I'm joined here in studio by anti-human trafficking coordinator at Wedgewood Christian Services, Andrea Keller. Andrea, thanks so much for being here tonight to talk about this. I think this may catch some people by surprise to be hearing about this topic here in the city of Grand Rapids, but quite frankly, it's a topic that can be talked about in any community. So for folks who may be heading to ArtPrize, maybe they see some of this information, these flyers, these tips. What's the motivation here in spreading the information in this way?
Absolutely. We want to just make sure that we could, with the flyers especially that are at the different venues and in the bathrooms, it's a discreet way for those who maybe are in a very unsafe situation and maybe are looking to seek help. We've posted, it's the National Human Trafficking Tip Line is on that flyer, and so those who might be in an unsafe situation, they can contact that discreetly and confidentially too. And the other person on that other line is someone that's a professional that can either help them safety plan, they can help them connect them to local resources here in Grand Rapids, again, in a safe way that they're able to do that on their own terms.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got some of the tips that we can pull up for folks to take a look at one of the flyers that people may see around. And I know I said this at the beginning, you know, I think a lot of people in West Michigan might think, oh my gosh, that doesn't happen here. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. There's no way that's going on in my community. But frankly, it is, and it's something that can happen in any community. Can you just tell me a little bit about, you know, just how vast of an issue this is?
Yeah, this is unfortunately very prevalent in our community. You know, I don't have hard facts or statistics, right, that can say how prevalent it is here just in West Michigan, but we know it's happening. And what I usually tell people when I do trainings and presentations is wherever there's vulnerabilities, there could be trafficking, right? And so it's just so important for a community to be aware of what to be looking for. Not only that, but just the complexity of the issue too, and how they can play a role in just either being proactive or how to support survivors and victims.
Absolutely. And part of the information that is a part of this sort of campaign throughout ArtPrize is, you know, resources if you're in need of help, but part of it is also tips for anyone to know about, just to see if, you know, they may see a warning sign or something concerning, you know, things to know that it's linked to this topic directly. For folks at home watching right now, can you walk me through what some of those warning signs might be when you're out and about anywhere, really?
Right. Anything that really seems abnormal. Trafficking is very relational, so it's one of those crimes, unfortunately, that can just be hidden in plain sight is usually what people, how they describe it. And so it can be a relationship that a couple walking down the street, but maybe that one of the partners is very domineering and very maybe verbally abusive, or maybe there's physical signs of abuse on that victim. Maybe that partner is the perpetrator can be very domineering and controlling with that victim. And so again, anything that just seems off, that human trafficking tip line can also be for anyone, a citizen that maybe notices something that just seems off, and they can report a tip to the trafficking tip line as well.
Yeah, and I know there's also, you know, the tip line which you mentioned, which can be so helpful. If someone sees that tip line and they're nervous about reaching out, or they're in a really scary situation where, you know, even making that phone call can be so daunting, you know, and maybe anyone who could be watching right now who's potentially thinking these warning signs relate to their life, what's, you know, you're just pushed to them to reach out if they can and find that help.
Yes, and when they feel ready to, and that's what, again, when we do these trainings and presentations to our frontline workers, people that are going to be working with really vulnerable populations, we encourage them, you know, take that victim's lead, you know, what do they need next? And so it's really up to them to, you know, when they feel ready to seek out that help.
Yeah, absolutely. And last question for you. I mean, working through, you know, such a large event like ArtPrize, where so many people here in our area go, but so many people come from outside of, you know, our close-knit community to this event every year. I'm sure the hope is really just to spread this information far and wide, you know, during an opportunity like this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just getting the word out there again of signs to be looking for, but also, again, anyone that is traveling to ArtPrize that, again, isn't in that unsafe situation, they are able people to reach out for help, even in their own community. Maybe they're not from Grand Rapids, but they know that they can connect to resources from where they are coming from. So, yeah.
Anything I missed? Anything else you'd like to share with folks watching?
Yeah, there's a lot of tip sheets on Wedgewood's website, so related to human trafficking, but mental health and adolescence, just any sort of, if anyone's looking for any type of advice or help with, again, human trafficking or mental health,
And this is
related.
something too that if someone's having a big event that they're throwing, or they work, in a community-based space, and they'd like to offer this information to their group too, that's something that you work on as well.
Yes, we do. Again, our presentations and trainings about human trafficking are free to the community and to professionals, and so we just want to get the word out that, again, the better we educate ourselves, the better we're going to be as a community to respond to this issue.
Definitely. Andrea, thanks so much for coming in and talking about this.
Thank you so much.
A difficult topic to talk about, but one that's so important, and awareness really just is the best thing to tackle this head on, including here in our area. So thank you for talking about this.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there are a series of cancer rehab workshops happening in our community. There's one coming up in just the next couple of weeks that both cancer patients and also families of cancer patients, cancer fighters, I should say, that you may be interested in. So we're going to talk and learn all about that coming up right after the break.